Seems like you got a lot of new players, a lot of new enrollees. What do you just think of the group so far?
Well, I tell you, the thing I really love about the group is the attitude. I mean, and you know, when they come to work prepared with the right attitude mentally, man, it's easy to coach them. And you can see them from day one already trending and going in the right direction. And the biggest thing is I think the group is tight. It's a tight-knit group, and the younger guys are doing a great job of taking coaching from the older guys. The older guys are doing a great job of embracing it. And I'm just excited to see it continue to come together. But I see a lot of competes going on. The guys out there really competing and buying to it. And I think the biggest thing is they really know that the receivers we're covering right now, their margin of error is about that big. So that really helps. And that helps keep their attention a lot. But I'm excited with the progress we're making, and we just got to stay trending, keep that arrow going up.
You got Jay, Kay, and Champ coming back. You know, you bring in an all-conference player like Ray onto the room. What does the competition look like? You know, going into the spring.
Oh, it's a great healthy competition. You know, and the amazing thing about it, even at this day and age, they're all helping each other. And you know, I'll tell you what, Kay and Jay are doing a good job of, you know, having a meeting with the guys and bringing the guys along. But I mean, you can see the brotherhood, and although there's competition, we're all pointing toward winning, and that's good. And that's good, and that's healthy. And we're fortunate to have a guy like Rayon on the roster.
What do you see out of Rayon specifically, skill-wise?
Well, you know, of course, he's got a good skill set, and you know, it's like anything when you come in a new environment. You know, you gotta adjust, but he's gravitating the trend in the right direction. You know, I like his attention to detail. I like him staying focused, and you know, he's going to be a guy that's got to grasp the playbook and continue to trend in that direction, and just can make a good transition to get us himself and just help us win.
You kind of mentioned it earlier about the receiving room, and that margin for error is you know, pretty thin. How beneficial is that for your receiver, for your corners?
Well, it's the biggest benefit you get from it is that they have their attention. So guys are really paying attention about, you know, the technique and the fundamentals and, you know, the install, because they know if they're off a little bit, I mean, they're going to give an explosive play. And that's one thing that we thrive on, is that we don't want to give up any explosive plays. So, you know, having guys on the other side of the ball, you know, that have the ability to knock the top off the coverage, score it from anywhere on the field, that type of thing. And they brought some different speed, you know, in that room. It really helps us to cover those guys day in and day out.
What are conversations like with guys like Caleb Harris and Sylvester Smith about taking their game to the next level this year?
Well, you know, those guys are inside, and they're with Coach Rushing a lot. So I'll let him, although we're one secondary, he worked with those guys more on the field in detail, and also I'll let him answer that question.
Who are some of the young guys that you're really looking forward to seeing in the past?
Well, I'll tell you, you know, one guy I had a conversation with just in passing was Blake Woodby, and I told him at one shoe, realize that you are talented, and you can just slow down a little bit. You don't have to reach and grab and learn to win with your feet and your eyes. So, man, you're gonna be a household name, you know. So he's one guy that I'm eager to watch him continue to mature, because he's like a sponge now. I mean, he wants to pick up everything. He's a pro in the meeting room, take great notes. He's one of those guys that call you at night, coach. I'm looking at tape, and you know, I see this, and so I'm really excited to watch his continued development.
Champ was in here talking about his recovery, how helpful you were during all of that, just being a voice, being encouraging to him. What have you seen from him in his road back, and I guess what's the expectation for him on the field this spring?
Well, the biggest thing about Champ, man, with this journey back is that he is one positive young man, and I mean he's dealt with the situation just like a pro, and he's not been negative, not been down. He stayed on task in terms of his rehab and his work, and man, he's still, you know, vocal, still coaching, champ, still champ, you know. So it's always great to have a guy like that in the building. But what I've seen of him is just from day one to now is just a massive level of maturity. And you're talking about a guy that loves football. He don't just love game, but he loves the process, and he understands that, you know, what he's going through is a part of the process, and he's done a great job of embracing it and getting himself back to where he can play. And you know, with a guy like that, you know, you don't rush him in spring ball. You let them get prepared, because I always say that, you know, it's a good time to get better, but there's no trophies out there, and we have to get him prepared for the show.
As you project forward, is it too early to say, because I know he started at nickel for you guys, then played really well at corner. Are you guys thinking about where he might fit, or you want to see him back on the field first?
Well, the one unique thing we have a lot of guys that have position flexibility. And so, you know, it's kind of too early to say, well, who's going to be where. You know, like you mentioned other guys earlier. I mean, we meet together a lot, and we got a lot of position flexibility. The key it is the guys that can retain it and learn it, and that can match their skill set. So it's too early to tell right now who's going to play where. But as you know, we'll get the best guys on the field. But we're blessed to have guys that do have some position flexibility.
As decorated as guys like Blake and Donovan were in high school, what are the things you want to see them do in spring and summer so they can see the field this fall?
The biggest thing with your young guys is just retain the playbook. To eliminate the mental mistakes, and you want to see them do that, and at the same time, man, just play fast. The common mistake that those young guys make. They come in and they want to please, and they're thinking too much. Don't forget that you're talented. Don't forget that you have a great skill set. And don't forget to go play hard, because the other things that we study will take care of themselves. So the biggest thing you want to say to young guys like that have talent, play fast and continue to learn the playbook and eliminate mental mistakes. And as we tell them, hey, we hate to tell you you're going to go out there and be perfect, because you're not. You're going to make mistakes, but make full-speed decisions.
What CJ sort of brought to you, Coach Rushing sort of brought to the coaching staff,
Wait, say it again now.
Coach Rushing, what sort of brought to the staff, and you enjoyed working with him?
Oh man, I mean, of course, he's been on the staff, but just taking on a new role. But he's a pro, man. I mean, he's very sharp, and he's very smart, and he does a great job in terms of relationship, with the players. And it's always good to have a guy around that fits the culture, and at the same time, that's very knowledgeable. He's a football guy, and we're fortunate to have him. Man, he's going to be really good, not only in the building, but good for the kids and talk to the kids about life. And he's a complete professional coach.
In terms of returning players, when you look at, obviously, like Rayon was highly rated but hasn't played here yet. In terms of returning guys, I mean, Jay and Kayan, have you had a duo like this that was so productive? And how excited are you to continue to mold them as consider how good they were last season?
Well, it's spring ball, man. You want to see them do it out there on game day, but it is a blessing to have talented guys, in the building. And like I said earlier, the best thing about this bunch right now, they're talented, but you can see them meshing and playing together. And you talk about bringing Rayon in, but the way these guys embrace each other, once we're in the building, you can't tell which guy. What's the guy that just came in, the guy that's been here. Of course, everybody knows Kaylee and Jaden Crawford's been in the building. But with those other guys, they do a good job of embracing them and bringing them into the fold. And want to see those guys do well, because they understand, being in this league, that you got to have some quality depth. They completely understand that, and those guys are team guys, and it's good to see that.
Cron, do you sense a greater sense of urgency with this team after the last couple of seasons not really achieving maybe the goals you set out for?
I think you're spot on. You can see the sense of urgency and what brings us maturity. And I think the third piece that brings us that we don't want that feeling in our taste again, in our mouth. We don't want that taste in our mouth again. So that brought on some sense of urgency, some awareness. And I'll tell you, these guys, they're going to have to replace the hinges on those doors, because they're in all the time studying film. And they're in here, back and forth, in the morning and at night. And so they're going to get some guys some opportunity to repair some doors around here real soon. But that urgency is there, and we, as coaches, we got to make sure we keep it there.
You talked about we talked about the vets, talked about a couple of the young guys. Any of the players that have been here for a year or two that we see sort of making a move and pushing on.
Well, I'll tell you what, I'm not don't want to be cliches about it, but you can see a lot of them that are trending, that are pushing for time. And but the biggest thing about it is, and I don't want to be redundant, but I mean, you can see where all of them are really getting better and trending. And I think it's a tribute to, doing it all season, those guys studying together, watching them take together, and communicating. And I really believe it's a bunch now that spend a lot of time with each other away from the building. And you can sense that, and you can feel that. And you can really see the older guys. You can see them pushing the younger guys to get better. And it's really, as a coach, it's really good when you're on the field and you're in the middle of practice and you hear your veteran guys coaching. And so you see a lot of that going on, and that speaks to, like you talk about, the urgency that these guys have right now. And it's really good to see.